Okay.
Sometimes I think we ought to wear dunce caps. Oh, we got a little while.
Okay,
yet.
yeah, we can try.
Yeah.
Let's try to make
Okay, you say good morning.
yeah. And then you can.
I come in down here. All right, we'll get to it.
Is this me? This is me.
That's a nice.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's what I told Annie. We are a B&B, birds and bunnies. You live in the yes. She doesn't listen in. Yeah, I know.
Okay, he's giving us a sign.
I know.
Morning alligators right now.
Are they still native?
I think, yes, I do think it didn't have an immediate impact.
Good morning. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Please rise in body and/or spirit and join us in our hymn, music number 121. You'll notice there's a few errors in the thing, but we'll bring you along. Number 121, Build a Land in your gray hymnal.
Stars
Welcome, everyone, to this morning's service of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Charlotte County. Bienvenido. My name is Lori Douglas.
And my name is Ted Z. We are your worship associates for this service of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Charlotte County, and today our speaker will be Myrna C. We are delighted to have all of you join us, whether here in person or virtually from afar. This is a space where all are invited to bring their full selves and participate in a spirit of community and fellowship. Before we start our worship service, we have a few announcements.
First of all, you will notice that whoever made this order of service was half asleep when she did it. So we'll have a few number changes here, like the welcoming music is 121 and a few other ones that are here. And we'll announce those as we go. Your UUFCC updates await you in your email on Thursdays, should you choose to sign up. Thanks to our web weavers, we also have a wonderful website, UUFCC.org. Original, right? Yeah. Okay. Cake is next week, by the way, instead of this week. So that's an important announcement. As a reminder, we do broadcast this live on YouTube, and the recording may be found on our UUFCC.org channel. Consequently, for privacy concerns, we use first names and last initials when necessary. For those of us who are doing this virtually, you may wish to have a candle or a chalice at home. If this is your first time here or you're returning from some time away, please stand or wave in body or spirit and state your name, your first name, and where you're from, and so that we may welcome you. Anybody here for the first time who wishes to share? Okay. If you're new at home, you can wave at us too. And if you would like to learn more about our fellowship, you can email Anna or Sandy at uufcc.org or visit our delightful website. At this time, please take a moment to greet someone nearby.
Don't worry.
Oh, hello. I'm like, who are you? I don't know. Thank you. Thank you. Deepening our connection with each other in a supportive community strengthens our ability to cope in times of difficulties and to appreciate those wonderful moments of knowing that you are not alone. Our opening words today are by Ted and Lori. When we encounter a stranger in a public place,
We acknowledge them with a smile.
when a stranger comes to the door,
We greet them and say, "How can I help you?"
when a stranger speaks another language,
We offer a greeting and use welcoming body language.
when a stranger comes into our fellowship,
We welcome them and introduce ourselves.
we'll now have the prelude by Margaret.
Thank you, Margaret. Now we will have the chalice lighting. While Betty Barriga comes up to light the chalice here in the sanctuary, those of you at home may light your chalice or candle, and please join with us in this affirmation. May we be keepers of thy flame, O flaming chalice, symbol of a free faith, burn with the holy oil of helpfulness and service. And then spread the warmth and light and of hope. Warm hearts grown cold with indifference, light dark places with justice, rekindle hope in despair. May hands of service shelter thee, that no winds of hate may extinguish thy brightness. May the light and warmth be eternal. May we be keepers of thy flame. This is adapted from Richard S. Gilbert.
We'll now have the story for all ages with Betty. Drop something.
Want to help me? Want to help me? Oh, this is Mr. Higgins. Oh, thank you. Hi, everybody. Oh, I have a helper now. Higgins, a drop with a dream. Here he is, Mr. Higgins, right? And we'll put him here. Okay. Higgins was no ordinary drop of water. He was a drop with a dream. Higgins lived in a valley where it had not rained in a very long time. So all the lovely green grass was turning brown. All the beautiful flowers were wilting. All the trees were starting to droop. Higgins had a dream that one day the valley will be a beautiful place again. But what can he do? After all, he was only a drop of water, one drop of water. Thank you. One day, Higgins decided to travel and tell others about his dream. All the other drops listened very politely, but no one believed that his dream would come true. Higgins, said one, get your head out of the clouds. You can't spend your whole life dreaming. Higgins decided he had to do something to make his dream come true. So he began to think and think. And one day, as he was walking by a rusty old bucket, here he is. Okay, a rusty old bucket. He got an idea. If enough of us drops of water got together in this bucket, Higgins thought, there will be enough water to sprinkle on a few flowers and help them grow and become beautiful again. Eagerly, Higgins told everybody his great idea, but everybody thought he was being foolish. That Higgins is nothing but a dreamer, they said. Higgins decided he had to do something to convince the others that he was right. So he said to them, I don't know about you, but I'm getting into the bucket, and I hope some of you will join me. Here's the bucket. Put him in the bucket. And I hope some of you will join me. And so he then jumped very high in the air and landed on the bottom of the bucket. And there he sat, just a drop in the bucket. And for a long time, Higgins was very lonely. It seemed like nobody was going in to join him. But after a while, some of the other drops could see that the grass was dying and the flowers were wilting, and they all agreed something must be done. Suddenly, one drop shouted, I'm going in the bucket with Higgins. Oh, you want to grab another one? I'm going in the bucket with Higgins. Yeah, we put him in the bucket. He leaped through the air and went in the bucket. And then more drops said, we're going in there too, right? And they jumped in the bucket, and then hundreds of drops, yeah, they kept going into the bucket. You want to help? Yeah, put him in the bucket. And there were more drops wanting to join, and they found another bucket, and they hopped into, and before long, there were hundreds of buckets of water. Along came a powerful breeze and flew over all the buckets, and all the water flowed together to make a mighty stream. Everywhere the water flowed, the grass turned green again. The flowers bloomed, and the trees stood tall and straight once more. All this happened because Higgins had a dream, and his dream came true because he knew, although he was just a drop in the bucket, enough drops in the bucket make a bucket full. And when there are enough buckets with the wind behind them, and then justice will roll down like waters, and righteousness like a mighty stream. Thank you. This is all yours, and there's a gift in here for you. Thank you. Thank my helper.
All right. We welcome the youth to join us in this hymn today. It's called De Coloris. Ready? All about colors. Oh, cool. Okay.
What number?
This is number 305 in the gray hymnal.
Okay, so I am doing the colores, which is traditional folklore music from Mexico, known in Spanish. So I'm going to be doing the Spanish lyrics first, and then we all follow with the English lyrics later on. Colores
now invite the youth to gather in the social hall.
The Book of Life and Stones. We now invite you to join in our tradition at UUFCC of sharing our joys, sorrows, and life milestones. We have two options. Messages can be written in the red book prior to the service, which sits at the back of the sanctuary and will arrive in the hands of somebody who will pick it up and bring it here. Those of us at home are welcome to email your entries to the Book of Life at uufcc.org by Saturday. Is there somebody? Joseph, is nothing there? Okay, nothing in the book. Thank you. All right. Secondly, we embrace the tradition of dropping stones in the bowl. The water symbolizes the community, and the stones represent your joy, sorrow, or milestone. I now invite those of us who would like to participate to come forward to the bowl, drop a stone, either in silence or share briefly aloud. There will be time for announcements after the service. Please come forward now, if you wish.
Okay, yes, good morning. I'm Beverly S., and I'm very disappointed. This is my birthday today, and I thought, wow, it fell right on birthday Sunday, and there's going to be a big cake. Well, that didn't work out too good. Oh, thank you very much. I have a lot of memories on my birthday. When my husband was alive, we did a lot of traveling. And I woke up every birthday in a different country, in a different place, and it was so exciting. I have a lot of good memories. But I thought about that, and I'm saying today I'm here. And I am so happy to be here, because this is a place to start a new year of life. It's a friendly and happy and warm place, and a good beginning.
We have other folks with birthdays right around now. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Beverly.
Happy birthday to you.
I'm Adam D. This is Jackie D. It was Stone for Sadness. I lost my grandfather yesterday to lung cancer. So, yeah, send prayers to the family, please.
I dropped this stone in memory of my husband. Tomorrow marks 2 years since he passed away. And I'm very grateful for the memories of 58 years with him.
Well, I'm very happy to see two people, well, one of them disappeared, that we haven't seen in a long time here, and that's wonderful. And I'm sad to look around and think of the people who won't be here next week because they're traveling north, and they're such a vital part, and we'll miss them too. So it's good and bad, but I'll take it.
I dropped this stone for my niece, who was born this week, at 8 pounds and 6 ounces, I believe. She was born on April 16th. at about 5 in the morning. She was born at home. It was a complete at-home birth.
Good morning, I'm Sarah, and I dropped the stone for everybody who needs it. So, thank you.
I want to be loud because I'm going to the protest in Alligator Alley. And I too, today, am 80 years old. And I can say it's rejuvenating to actually go to a protest like when I was 25. And they were so meaningful. I didn't join the Army. No, I was rejected. But I joined the army of friends and do-gooders who I think helped stop that Vietnam War. And it's so good to feel in me a revival of springtime of going down to Alligator Alley completely well-dressed, and I have a hat with a brim so that the sun won't burn me.
My name is Ginger, and I dropped this stone in memory of Serena Fairfax, who was shot and killed this week by her husband, former Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, in the basement of their home with their teenagers in the house. Say her name.
Oh, yes. Serena.
Well, as you know, I'm Carlos, and I am I'm also celebrating the birth of my first grandson. Yesterday, kept me up all night because between the family and the texts and the calls and all that, I'm lucky that I'm able to make it today, so excuse me. So his name is Alice, and I only wish that my wife, who would have been here, she's been gone for about 10 years now, would have been here to notice this, but to witness the birth of her grandchild. But all is good, and I just put a stone there also for the parents, my daughter and her husband, who is just a wonderful man, and wish him the best as they embark in parenthood. So.
Good morning, I'm Patrick E. I want to just share a joy. Last night we had a very successful fundraiser for PFLAG, Drag Queen Bingo, and I appreciate the volunteers, people who contributed to us. We also featured veterans. So Charlie Foxtrot in Port Charlotte does so much for veterans. Actually has a church service at noon, which I'm going to pop over sometime. So it was a very nice night, and continue that we have help fund our safe socials for LGBTQ plus our allies, whoever wants to join us. So it was a fun night.
My name is Laura. I am yours and you are mine, and I'm leaving Tuesday to go west, and I'll see you in October.
Finally, the last stone that Lori places represents the unspoken joys and sorrows in our hearts. May we hold those and each other in love and tenderness, so that this fellowship may continue to be a source of strength, comfort, courage, and hope in the days and weeks ahead. Again, thank you, Margaret.
Okay. Our guest speaker today is Myrna C., one of our very own, who was born in Brooklyn and lived in New York City for most of her life, raising 4 children. She dropped out of school at 18 and returned later to receive a BA, a master's, and a doctorate. Myrna was yes, and 4 kids, wow. Myrna was a tenured professor for 20 years at the City University of New York. After retirement, she became a professional black and white film photographer, processing and printing her own work. She moved to Port Charlotte, where she lives today, joined the UUFCC, and continues her lifelong passion for political activism. I welcome, and please join me in welcoming Myrna, When Faith Calls Us to Show Up.
Hi. Water. Hi, everyone. Thanks for inviting me this morning, and I will speak to you of justice, of my commitment to it, and it is my story. So I grew up in a Jewish household where justice was our God. And let me, before I start, every time I do this and think about this, I cry. And excuse me if I cry, but I think crying is good and helpful. So if I do, don't fret. Okay, I grew up in a Jewish household where justice was our God. Justice was perfection, something all-encompassing, and fighting for it was not optional. It was one's life. It was for everyone. There were no exceptions. My parents knew very little about parenting, but they taught me everything about justice and about activism. Some of those lessons came early and harshly. At 6 years old, they showed me pictures of black men lynched by Ku Klux Klan, their testicles stuffed in their mouths. I was too young to understand much, but I did understand this. I hated the Klan. I loved the oppressed. And I knew that such cruelty was wrong. A day out with my parents was rarely ordinary and usually political. On May Day, we marched into Union Square alongside unemployed workers, victims of the Great Depression. We were proud to stand with them. Brazenly, I remember asking my mother why she wore her mink coat to be around so many struggling people, and she said, "Someday every worker will have a mink coat." It was her vision of justice. It's simple: be bold and be hopeful. In 1939, when President Roosevelt refused entry to Jewish refugees aboard the MS St. Louis, my parents stood vigil at the docks. Me between them, we held placards and stayed late into the night. In the early 1940s, my mother demanded a second front in Europe, convinced it would save lives. We stood on street corners asking people to sign petitions and to give money. As images from Auschwitz began to surface, photographs of emaciated prisoners were taped to our dining room walls. There were no abstract lessons. These were no abstract lessons. They were urgent, real, and constant. We marched, we sang, "We Shall Not Be Moved." We sang that song everywhere. At rallies, in the car, on picket lines. It was my mother's favorite song, and it became mine too. But we did not always win. After World War II, anti-communist hysteria spread across this country. Senator Joseph McCarthy spread fear and declared war on people who were trying to make a better world. Organizations were silenced, protests became dangerous, people were labeled, blacklisted, fired, and jailed. Ethel and Julius Rosenberg, questionably accused of treason, were executed. And yet those early lessons never faded. The love of justice, the hatred of oppression, that never appeared again. Those values only strengthened, and eventually McCarthy did fall. He was censured, disgraced, and history moved forward. Then came the civil rights movement under the leadership of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. The nation saw what moral courage looked like. People came together, black people, white people, Jewish people, Christian people, young people, and old. They all had hope. For a time, it felt as though we might truly build a better world. The message from my now deceased parents hung in the air. Fight fear, confront danger, and love your neighbor. When I became pregnant, I tried to pass on those values differently, with more love, more gentleness. I wanted to give my children what I had not received: self-confidence, generosity, all coupled with responsibility. I do believe they heard me, and I do believe they understood. As for my own path, after raising 4 children, I returned to school, dropped out earlier. I had dropped out earlier in life, but I went back to night school and over 7 years earned a BA degree from Brooklyn College in Brooklyn, New York. I went on to earn a master's degree and then, almost unbelievably, a doctorate. I soon began teaching at Queensborough Community College. For a while, life was quieter and I was less active, but I did take my 4 children regularly to Washington, D.C. to protest the Vietnam War. They remember little about those trips except how we were chased and sprayed by the D.C. police. Eventually, I returned to full activism at my college. I was labeled a lightning rod. It was not meant kindly. I organized, I spoke out, I protested. I worked closely with a Mary Knoll nun who shared my commitment to justice. And together we organized peace demonstrations on campus, supported students whose college loans were denied, and even led a faculty strike. The college administration reacted as expected, badly. They called me a commie. I was threatened, but we persisted. And one of the things I remain most proud of today is the deep friendship. A Jewish woman and a Catholic nun working side by side for justice. It was quite a sight, and we were quite a team. Teaching is a wonderful profession, but it became increasingly stressful. When I was promised a full professorship, I finally gained some protection from the accusing administration, but still decided to retire. I was 62. Life was too precious to spend fighting those administrators. Around that time, one of my daughters moved to Port Charlotte, Florida. I was a truly devoted New Yorker, yet I did consider moving to Florida and finally decided to test the waters. I had a few conditions. I needed a political life. I needed a community of like-minded people. I needed a place where I felt that I belonged, and I needed to continue the fight for justice, the work my parents had assigned to me. I started my investigation of Florida right here in this building on a Sunday. It was Black History Month, and the sermon was about W.E.B. Du Bois, the founder of the NAACP, first Black Harvard graduate, and a well-known and beloved leader of Black liberation and equality. Reverend Herb Adams, those of you who are old-timers like me probably remember this. led a sermon on Dr. King, and I went up to him after the service and told him that I had spent a whole day with, not Dr. King, sorry, W.E.B. Du Bois. Wow. He squeezed me tight when he heard that. He was delighted to hear that somebody knew who W.E.B. Du Bois was. And he wanted to hear every detail. And I thought maybe this would be home. And it was and it has been. Here I found a beloved community, a multiracial, justice-seeking congregation, a place where I was welcomed not only as an activist, but as a Jewish woman, a place where I could continue to grow, to act, and to belong. We shared stories, immigration stories, oppression stories, resilience stories. Everyone had a story to tell. We reminded each other that this country was built by those very people who were oppressed, the immigrants, the workers, the slaves, by those who endured exploitation and still contributed to everything. 1 minute. And I began a new life here, still committed to justice and still unwilling to stand silent in the face of injustice. But injustice is still with us today, and that is why I speak to you. Injustice has been laid on Latin American immigrants with the force of a hammer and the words of despots. Latin American folks, families, children, women with babies have been forced to leave their homes due to poverty, violence, and economic policies that have devastated their livelihoods. Trade agreements like NAFTA contributed to the collapse of local farming economies, pushing people to migrate in search of survival. And these journeys are not easy. They require extraordinary courage. And we saw this firsthand through the eyes of Sarangel, a mother who traveled through the dangerous Darien Gap to reach safety. Her story is one of determination, but also of suffering. And you, this fellowship, stepped up to the plate to finance her life for 2 years. You all adopted her, loved her, played with her children, drove her to her English lessons. These acts of kindness show what generous spirit is here in this fellowship. Today, Sorangel is doing well, considering today's reign of terror. She is waiting for her asylum hearing, something that could take years. Her children are doing well in school. She has mastered the English language, has a driver's license, and a license to be a caregiver. But she works sporadically, leaves home rarely, and is terrified to drive, fearing arrest and deportation by masked ICE agents. 1 second. Pages. Okay. I just am impossibly missing pages. My daughter, Carrie, who was visiting me from Denver, was with me writing this speech. Oh, I got it. Hold on. Her fears are justified. Some of Sarangel's friends have been picked up and deported, and others who look like her are being arrested, detained, denied basic rights, and treated in ways that echo some of the bleakest chapters of our history. This is not who we are or who we should ever be, and I say now is the time to speak out. Now, not tomorrow, today. I do not come here simply to tell you my story. I come to remind all of us of the urgency of this moment, of the massive crisis that abounds, and of our responsibility and our ability to resist. We are not alone. We are a community. We are bound by shared values, justice, dignity, compassion, interconnection. Remember these words from the UUA president, Sophia Bendicott, who wrote in a recent publication, "The love that lives in the center of our faith not only holds us accountable, it sets us free. Yes, this is tiring work. Bearing witness to injustice is exhausting. Showing up for justice again and again is not easy. But we are here in this fellowship because we believe in a better world, no matter what it takes and how much it costs. I can do this, you can do this, we can do this, and we must. Latin American immigrants are under attack. They need us and we need them. When we defend the dignity of others, we defend our own humanity. So let us say no to hatred, to fear, to injustice, to racism, and yes to unity and to courage, to effort and to doing the right thing. Thank you.
Very well done, Myrna. In our tradition, the gifts we share sustain this community and extend our values beyond these walls. There are several ways you can give to either one. You can drop your donation in the baskets that are being passed around by the greeters. You can mail checks to the office, drop them in our mailbox, or call the office to make other arrangements. We are also equipped to accept donations at UUFCC offering through the Venmo app. Today, we have two helpings. One is for the usual support of the congregation, and the other is a second helping, which Linda will tell us about.
Hello. This week, I watched two ice boats, big offshore ice boats, launch at Lashley Marina, while a Black Hawk helicopter circled overhead. I learned that a mother arrested at the Baker Center in Punta Gorda while dropping her child there was released from the Everglades Detention Center. She was released because Maria Lara took her case. Although the mom was not detained for a long time and she was not deported, her family still lost everything because her husband could not work. While she was detained, he had to care for the children. This afternoon, more buses are going to the Everglades Detention Center. Some of those will be taking detainees there to be abused. Other buses will be taking advocates to join the detainees' families, Native people, Ron and myself, and others fighting to close these detention facilities. Please support these efforts through your second helping donations, and please consider joining us on the bus. In school, we talked about World War II concentration camps, and I wondered, what would I have done? It was a theoretical question. It's no longer theoretical. Our taxes are paying for concentration camps in a sacred native space in our neighborhood. Our neighbors are being abused there. The Workers' Circle is both effective and efficient in using our donations. Mary Holly and Delmar of the foundation, or the endowment, have donated $1,000 to this cause. I am asking all of you to give what you can to stop this. I know you will. Thank you.
Can you do Venmo?
Yes, you can.
Okay, the first collection will be the normal one for the support of the congregation, and the second one will follow. During the collecting of the donations, we will sing 1053 in the teal hymnal. We thank you all for your contributions. And where are we at? Now we will have the closing words. I have been noticed.
You see me.
I am heard.
You listen to me.
I am worthy of your time.
You value me. I have been a stranger. Please join us as we extinguish with the chalice with the words in our order of service. If you are who you were, and if the person next to you is who he or she was, if none of us has changed since the day we came in here, we have failed. Purpose of this community, of any church, temple, zendo, mosque, is to help its people grow. We do this through encounters with the unknown, in ourselves, in one another. So may you go forth from here this morning, not who you were, but who you could be. So may we all.
Adapted from Eric Walker Wickstrom.
Please join us with this final hymn, which is actually number 1030 in the Teal hymnal. 1030. It is a South African hymn called Siyahamba, and Carlos is going to help us with the pronunciation of the Zulu.
No, Spanish.
Of the Spanish, not the Zulu. We're on our own for the Zulu.
So there are different versions of the song, so Spanish, in Zulu, and of course in English. And so we are gonna start it up with the Spanish version of it. Just for your information, I am Black Latino, so. Caminando, vamos caminando, caminando en la luz de Dios. Caminando, vamos caminando, caminando en la luz de Dios.
Okay, enjoying the refreshments in the fellowship hall.